Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Thursday, the 29th of August, 2024. I'm Michael Thompson. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about, so let's get going. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 0.3% today to 8,045 points. After a pretty rocky day of earnings, the sector that performed best over the day was financials, with the banks all posting modest gains. Most other things slumped, including significant slides for energy, consumer discretionary, and staples and resources. Mineral resources was leading the decline in that space, down 8%. It was pretty flat for industrials, healthcare, and IT. A Perth-based miner, Red 5, was one of the worst performers, down more than 10% after a reported loss after tax of $5.4 million. One of the top performers over the day was Vegemite owner Bega, up 10%. After it announced a statutory profit of $30.5 million over the last financial year, compared to a $230 million statutory loss the year before. Qantas shares fell after it announced earnings were down 18% to $2.08 billion, but it recovered in late afternoon trading to close up 0.8%. It'll resume its dividend for the first time since the pandemic in the second half of the year. And online fashion seller Cettire has had a pretty tough day. After missing estimates and posting a 34% profit drop, it was down 20%. On to story number 2 now, and Nvidia's earnings have disappointed some investors, with its shares dropping nearly 9% in New York. That's because while the figures were objectively pretty good, there's a frenzy over the brand, with some expecting to be blown out of the water by future guidance. Despite reporting revenues for the second quarter up 15% over the previous 3 months at $30 billion and up 122% year on year, it was all about the third quarter. Nvidia expects these revenues to be up slightly, but some analysts were expecting a massive increase. Another issue flagged by the chipmaker are a few production challenges with the Blackwell product design, a chip for which there is a lot of anticipation. Nvidia is considered both a leader and a litmus test for the AI excitement that's taken hold for investors, so confidence in other companies will be affected by its success or failures too. Story number 3, back home for this one. Wesfarmers posted a 3.7% lift in profit over the financial year to around $2.56 billion. But Managing Director Rob Scott has warned about a challenging year ahead amid slowing home building, volatile commodity prices, and significant cost of living pressures weighing on customers. Over the last fiscal year, Kmart sales were up 4.4%, Officeworks was up 2.3%, Wesfarmers Health Division, which includes Priceline and Silk Laser Clinic, reported revenues up 5.9%, Bunnings sales were up 2.3%, but there's a slowdown coming apparently for the hardware business, with the growth already weakening in the second half of last year. Softening building activity is part of that story. Sales for the first 8 weeks of this financial year have also been slower across the Kmart group, including Target. Story number 4, Triple M and hit radio station owner Southern Cross Austereo is putting its TV network up for sale and cancelling its dividend amid the advertising slowdown. The TV ad market has been a headache for major media businesses this earnings season, with Nine also flagging challenges. Southern Cross CEO John Kelly said he'd had active negotiations to sell their 96 TV stations, with revenue across the entire business down 1% to $499.4 million, and underlying profit down 49% to $11.2 million. One positive is that its digital audio platform Listener is profitable and growing. And finally, story number 5, Pavel Durov, the founder of messaging app Telegram, has been charged in France in relation to alleged illicit activity on the app that authorities are looking to make him personally liable for. He's also been stopped from leaving the country. He's been investigated for complicity in managing a platform that enabled illegal transactions, as well as complicity in crimes as serious as enabling child abuse material to be distributed, as well as fraud and drug trafficking. Part of the concern from prosecutors has been a lack of response to requests for cooperation from Telegram when major criminal cases were brought to its attention. At the heart of the issue here is the line between freedom of speech and the responsibility of the platforms to help law enforcement. According to the New York Times, this case could come with a sentence of 10 years if Durov is found responsible. That's it for the afternoon report for Thursday, the 29th of August 2024. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the Friday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Michael Thompson. Enjoy your evening.